What's good, YouTube? We back with another video, man. And before I get into it, man, I hope you guys have been locked in. I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves, man. All right, let's get it, man. So, as you know, basically, man, life is all about choices, okay? Something that I've realized a little too late is that every single day, you're from the moment you wake up, you choose your life every day. You choose how you want your life to go. You choose exactly how you want your life to be like, you know? Um, and that's exactly the problem, is because a lot of us don't even realize that we're literally choosing a certain type of lifestyle every single day that isn't going to benefit us. Is it going to make us successful? Is it going to make us rich? Is it going to make us, overall a better person? And that is literally the reason why we still have messed up lives, because we keep choosing it. We keep choosing to have that messed up life every single day we wake up, every day. When you understand that, it'll kind of change your perspective, okay? Because like I said before, right? You're in control of your own life, okay? Obviously, when you're a kid, your parents are in control, basically. But once you hit that age of, honestly, the moment you start, when you're old enough to start working, which is like 16, you can basically then start to choose your life, choose your own life. Because once you're at the age where you can make money, you basically get to choose your own life. You get to choose how you want your life to play out. You get to choose everything about it. So, and I've realized that ever since the age of 14, I've been choosing wrong. Every time. I haven't, been basically choosing I haven't basically been making the right choice for a long time. And that's basically a lot why most people's lives are messed up, because they just chose wrong. You see, the thing about making choices is that a lot of people, when you make a choice to abandon your old lifestyle and try to become successful or have a better one, that usually means that you have to make sacrifices, meaning that you might have to cut off friends that are bad influences. You might have to cut off relationships. Even you might have to you might even have to cut off family, or at least distance yourself away. You might have to delete social media. You might have to give up going to parties or going to clubs, right? Me personally, I'm not that type of person, but you might have to give that up for a little minute. You might have to give up the bad vices like smoking, drinking a lot, corn, all the stuff, all the things that isn't going to help you become successful. You basically have to give it up. And those things you might find pleasure in, right? Smoking a lot, drinking a lot, going to the club, parties with your friends, homies, whatever. Getting lit. The lifestyle seems good, right? But in reality, that's not going to make you successful. See, you can pretend to live a good lifestyle, but when reality hits you, man, and reality will, you're gonna realize that you wasted your time doing all of that for nothing, and you're gonna realize that you've been choosing wrong. See, guys, life is about choices. So if you choose wrong, then you can't go back, because you have to use every single day that you have on this earth, man, to make the right decision. Because like I said before, you never know when your time is up. Okay, we only have a certain limited of time, and not a lot of us will live to be old. Some people might not live to get old. Who knows, man? Right? So it's important while you're still alive that you have to choose, make the right decision. And making the right decision isn't easy, right? Choosing that right path is not easy. Because like I said, that means that you have to give up stuff that you will find pleasure in, right? But you have to do what has to be done, right? You know, yesterday I was rewatching. This is kind of unrelated, but kind of related in a way. But what made me realize this was that I was watching Dune, right? Dune Part Two. It's a good movie, man. Those are good movies, right? The tragedy of a fallen hero, or you know, the tragedy of of a false prophecy, false messiah, right? And if y'all ain't seen the movie or read the books, y'all go watch that. It's tough, right? But it's basically about a dude that is, believed to be, basically it's about a dude that's believed to be the Messiah, and basically he's supposed to lead, you know, his people to, you know, and he's able to foresee into his future, right? Different paths, right? And once he drank the water of life in the movies, he was able to see the visions were clear, right? It was fragments, but now it was clear. So it's like he felt like he had to do what he had to do to ensure that, humanity remains safe, and that his future that he saw would be intact, right? Basically, that's what he saw, right? So he basically had to become their Messiah in order to get what he wanted, right? Because he wanted revenge and everything. I don't even know why I'm talking about this movie, but basically he had to choose. He had to choose, right? Because see, before he saw these memories, or he saw these paths, but he was hesitant. He was afraid of them because he didn't want to walk down those paths. But once it got to the point where he felt like he had no choice, he did it, right? Even if it meant giving up, even if it meant leading 2 billion people to their deaths. So now, why did I even talk about this movie? Well, that's what made me think about how life is here, right? Because even though we can't see into the future, or we can't foresee, or we can't foresee whatever, right? We have different paths that we could walk on. We don't need to see the future to be able to see what path that we're walking on right now. Because if you're somebody that wants to become successful and rich, well, you can, right? But you have to walk along that path. You have to choose that path of becoming successful or rich. And that means that, like I said before, that means you have to do what you need to do to ensure that you become rich or you become successful. Which means, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. You have to do more saving. You can't really spend your money on stuff like, stuff like that, right? Or you can stay on the path of just living a average life, right? Or not even an average life, but below average life, where you're not really making a lot of money, right? You're making minimum wage, but hey, you enjoy life, right? Meaning that you probably drink a lot, smoke a lot. You probably drink, but you're working a minimum wage job, not really making nothing. You probably don't even have your own crib, and even if you do, you probably, and you're kind of just going out to parties and clubs all day, all the time. getting drunk out your mind, getting wasted, and possibly having kids at a young age, or not even at a young age, but just having kids knowing that you're not making enough money or you're not financially stable to take care of them. So now you brought them into the life, into your life where they're kind of struggling. You know, it's these different paths that you can walk on, right? Just like Paul, right? He saw different paths that he could walk on. He physically saw it. So in order to, choose the path that you want, that you really want, you have to walk a certain path. That's why I kind of like the Doom movies, because you can kind of relate it back to real life. We it's different paths that we all can walk on, and it's up to you to choose, right? Not everybody's going to become successful, because not everybody is going to choose that life of becoming successful. You see, the thing about it is people think that it's not destined for them to become successful. No, I believe that anybody can become successful. And what I mean by successful is I mean by rich, making 6-7 figures. I say making 7-8 figures a year. I feel like everybody's capable of doing that, right? You know, committing to the gym for the rest of your life, consistently going 5-6 days a week consistently for the rest of your life. And on the occasions where, except the occasions where you might get sick or you might get injured, giving up the bad vices forever, like smoking, drinking, watching porn, or at least for a long period of time, right? Giving up social media, at least for me, right? Because social media is a big distraction, right? So, a lot of people don't want to give up that stuff. They don't want to walk along the path of self-improvement. And that's why most people ain't gonna become successful, because they don't want to choose that life. It's not because they can't, or it's just it's impossible. They just don't want to choose it. Now, bringing this back to me, right? Ever since I've had this realization after watching Dune, I've been realizing that I've been choosing wrong this entire time. See, I never fully committed to the self-improvement life. I kind of always been kind of in and out. I never really fully chose it. See, I thought that I could do both. I thought that I could try to self-improve and improve on myself while still being able to kind of bullshit around and not really, like still feed into my lust, still, doom scroll on social media, still kind of laying around all day, not really doing nothing. Like I'm kind of battling two sides of me. I have that lazy part of me that just wants to not do anything. Like I'm just kind of wishing that it's like, I don't know. It's like I don't even know. It's like I'm lustful, right? I don't really do nothing. I kind of just sleep around all day, wasting time, But the self-improvement life, it's like I want to be locked in. I want to stay consistent with everything. Guys, it's not hard. It's not easy, man. Because I'm trying to fix a lot of things at once. I'm trying to get myself right at the gym, which also would mean my diet as well. And I've always been somebody that struggled with my diet, because I'm a naturally skinny person, so I have a hard time eating. So that right there is a struggle. Then on top of that, I have to stay consistent with my morning routine, my night routine, and post it consistently on social media, while also having a job, working 10-hour shifts, right? 4 days a week. So basically like 11, because it's really 10 hours and 30 minutes. So, self-improvement, the path of self-improvement is not easy. So it makes sense why it will be hard for me to fully commit to it because it's not easy. But one thing about, you know, the Doom movies that it taught me after rewatching it again was that sometimes, man, you just have to do what you have to do, man. You know, that path is there for you to walk on, but it's up to you to walk on it. Because if I don't choose this path, if I keep neglecting this self-improvement path, even if it seems hard, I'm gonna have a terrible life, man. I'm not going to make it. It's basically it. I'm not gonna make it. And the only person I could blame for that is myself. Because I keep choosing wrong. I keep choosing this bullshit life where I just don't want to do nothing. I'm lazy. I just want to just lay around all day, scroll on social media, barely eat, barely go to the gym, and then feed it and then be lustful. Right? That's the life that in reality I would like to choose. Right? But then again, I want to still have the benefits of the self-improvement path where, you know, I'm in shape, you know, I'm jacked out of my mind, like I'm rich, you know. I it's like in a way I wish I could have both. Not me, but it's like, I don't know, my subconscious, I guess. I've always struggled with laziness, and the main reason why is because of lust. Lust makes me lazy. And lust is hard because I could go on long streaks of semen retention, but it's like when I relapse, whether it's with a girl or, you know, watching the hub, or not even watching the hub, just when I relapse in general, it's like my brain goes back to how it was before, right? The laziness, and I want to do anything. It's like it drains my level, my power levels or some shit. I don't know. It's like it reversed me back to like level 0. Like I could be at like level 20, level 30, but the moment I relapse, I go back to level 0. Now I'm kind of back at this low state of myself where I'm just lazy, you know, don't want to do anything. You know, it's hard, man. It's hard. And I'm here to tell y'all that this shit is not easy. So I made this channel, y'all, for y'all to understand, man, that life is all about choices. Okay. You know, I made this channel specifically to document my journey, my self-improvement journey. But the reality of it is that I haven't been choosing that life. Not fully anyway. Because when you choose a lifestyle, that means committing to it. You see, let's take the gym for example. Okay? The gym lifestyle is something that you have to choose. You can't be in it and then not really. You have to be 100% in it or 100% out. You can't be in it like this. You have to be committed to it. Meaning that if you're somebody that wants to change your physique, you have to commit to that path of fitness 100% for the rest of your life. Meaning that you have to go to the gym consistently for the rest of your life. Because the thing about it is that, and you also have to fix your diet and change up your diet for the rest of your life. You know? And some people can't do that. Some people might not want to fix their diet. Some people might like eating fast food all the time, or might like eating the junk food all the time. Or it might be hard for people to eat a lot more to be able to maintain their weight. Right? It's not easy, man. But life is all about choices. So if you don't choose, then you're not going to get what you want out of life. How do you expect to get a aesthetic or jack physique or a good body if you don't choose that lifestyle? Because fitness is not just about going to the gym and getting in shape, going to the gym and working and lifting weights. You know, you also have to make sure your diet is on point. You also have to make sure that you're sleeping enough. Like the fitness is literally like, I say like 40% of your life should be based off around fitness. Basically. Literally, majority of your time should be spent in the gym. Okay, I ain't gonna say in the gym, but literally majority of your life, part of your everyday routine should be doing some type of exercising or in the gym working out. We have to choose these lifestyles, y'all, and that's something that I haven't been doing. I haven't committed to it fully. So I realized, man, that in order for me to really improve, change my life, I have to commit to this life fully. Meaning, I have to let go of everything that I don't want to let go of. See, it's so easy for me to just feed into my lust and just feel good in the moment, but in reality, my life is not changing. Sometimes you have to sacrifice pleasure for longevity, meaning that you might have to go a long time without having sex for a while. You're going to have to stop masturbating and watching porn permanently. That means you might have to stop smoking, drinking, right? For a long time, right? Like I strongly believe that you're not able to do both. Okay, I'm just gonna be the person to tell you can't do both. Now you're probably thinking, oh well, there are successful people that smoke and drink, and stuff like that. That's true, but most of the time they don't do it like that. They might do it every once in a while. Most successful people don't do it like that, and it might have been a period of time where they might have had to not do it for a while. They might have had to take like a year or two break just from drinking or smoking. There's this content creator that I'll follow, self-improvement content creator. He used to be somebody that was heavy into smoking, but he realized that shit was fucking up his life, so he had to stop completely. I think he still drinks occasionally, but he had to stop in order to succeed. Sometimes that's what sacrifices are about, man. Right? That's what choosing the path is all about. Life is in our hands. Our life is in our hands, and we might not be able to see into the future, or we might not be able to see different paths physically, but we know every day what path you're choosing every single day when you first wake up. You know deep down what path you're choosing. So you have to ask yourself every day when you wake up, what path am I going to choose? Literally. Ask yourself that question every day when you wake up. Write it down if you have to. Are you going to choose the successful life? Or are you going to choose the I don't even know what to call it. Your just the same bullshit life that isn't going to get you nowhere. I don't even know what to call it. Whatever y'all want to call it. But you basically have to choose every day, man. Every single day of your life, you have to make that choice. That's literally what separates the successful people from the not successful people, because they chose that lifestyle. They chose it every single day. Instead of them scrolling on social media, feeding into their lust, they chose to put in that work into making more money, into getting in shape instead. They chose to do that. They could have not. They could have chose the lifestyle that everybody else chose and just decided, okay, well, I'm just going to just, masturbate, smoke all day, drink all day, right? Not really do nothing, lay around all day. They could have chose that lifestyle. But they didn't, because they knew what they wanted, right? Their goals, they wanted to achieve their goals. They wanted to become rich. They wanted to get in shape. And before you even do anything, you have to choose it first. You have to choose that lifestyle. And trust me, like I said, making a lot of money, learning how to make a lot of money is not easy. You know, I'm not rich. I'm still in the process of making money. But I can tell y'all it's not easy, man. Starting businesses, it's not easy. Getting in shape is not easy. Learning how to defend yourself, fight is not easy. Having a consistent morning routine, night routine is not easy. Staying on top of, just everything about self-improvement is not easy. Especially if you're somebody that has never really had, have experienced that life. You weren't groomed into the life when you were younger. So it's like, but in reality, man, even though it's not easy, they still chose it. And they got rewarded for it in the end. It might have been boring. It might have been stressful. Them, having withdrawals, them not really being able, them having to cut off friends that are distractions, cut off relationships, them kind of being by themselves. That's why a lot of successful people talk about, it feels lonely, right? Because it's like they got to where they were, but at what cost, right? When you get to that point where you finally reach the top, it's lonely because a lot of people aren't going to make it up there with you. And then when you finally do reach the top, you don't even really know who's genuine or not. Friendships and relationships, you don't know if people are being friends with you because of what you got or they generally want to be friends with you. You'll never really know. Most of the time, it's just going to be for what you have. Relationships, same thing. When you get to that top, you don't know if that girl is really genuine. You don't know if she's only with you because of your clout or because of your money, right? Or she's with you because she actually loves you and cares about you. You'll never know. And bro, it doesn't matter what she told you, bro. You'll never really know for real. That's why a lot of successful people are single. That's why a lot of successful people don't have friends like that. Because, it's just unfortunate. And remember, that's the lifestyle that they chose. So I'm kind of ranting on, but y'all kind of get what I'm saying, right? It makes sense why the self-improvement journey is hard to choose. It seems so good. It's so simple. It's so easy to follow, but it's not. Because mentally, we don't want to feel like we have to be disciplined and cut off everything that we like to do that gives us pleasure. But in reality, we have to, because if we don't, we're never going to make it. And we're going to end up stuck. Right? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Remember, man, every day you have a choice. When you first wake up, man, you choose, you literally make the decision right then and there how you want your life to be like. And with enough choices is when you will become what your life will become what you choose. So obviously choosing the successful life for one day isn't going to make you successful. You have to keep choosing it. You have to keep choosing it until the life finally manifests, until it becomes a reality. It's like a video game. You have to keep choosing. A, B. When you wake up, do I want to become successful? Or do I want to become just an average Joe, that just doesn't, I don't even know what to call this second life, but you have a choice, man. Every single day. And you have to choose. Literally. That's what I've realized, man, that I haven't been doing. So from now on, man, every single day when I wake up, I'm going to choose this lifestyle every day. And it's not going to be easy. It sucks, actually. Like, people don't tell you the truth about self-improvement. That shit sucks. I already made a video talking about it. It sucks, man. But just like Paul from the Doom movies, even his son, Leto, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Make the right decision, man. Let's get it.